Planes are grounded as global IT outage hits banks, media and rail companies. Banks, airlines and media companies have been taken offline as mass IT outages sweep across the globe. It's not yet known. That's talking about the actual cost now. It's not yet known what the cause is, but it has been linked to Microsoft devices. But the tech giant has said it is working to resolve the problem. Flights have been grounded in some countries, while rail and air firms in the UK are warning of widespread IT issues. We have reports currently, some news media houses are offline because of the outage. It also affected ATN this morning as of the guests we're supposed to have on ATN blowout via Zoom, and that was not possible because of this same IT outage at the moment. Well, we have our IT personnel with us in the studio this morning. We'll get to talk about how the effect of this, because there have been a disruption across the network, and it has been said that it is due to the third-party system outage. On the airline's website, it also posted potential disruptions across the network due to a global third-party system outage. How exactly has this affected, and what does this even mean? Because not everybody understands the IT jargons. All right, we still have our guests who I've been talking to in the studio with me, who is also conversant with the IT space. I'm talking about no other than King David. Yes, Obasi.
Yeah,
good morning. And we also have joining us Confidence.
Thank you for having me.
What's the surname again?
Confidence Dateway.
Yes, Dateway. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning,
How are you
thank
doing
you.
this morning?
I'm doing fine.
How do you feel about this? Confidence is actually our IT personnel right here at ATN. So Confidence, yes, how do you feel about this news? What do you think about this news?
It's a normal thing for every computer system.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a normal thing. It happens, but it's taking too much time for these tech giants to resolve these issues.
How long has it been?
For like up to 3 days now. So
wow.
Yeah, from the news I gathered, it has been on for up to 3 days. I think since for more than 3 days now.
So that means the planes that are affected, the flights, have been no flights for this number of days?
No, for the flights, they have been trying to resolve it like kind of like an in and out situation. They have been trying to resolve it, but as of this morning, the news we received, that planes were grounded in some complaints that even trains, that trains that uses internet and the rest, banks, even schools that uses that maybe they learn online and the rest. So they have been grounded, like
they can't fly. That is happening worldwide.
Yeah, it's happening worldwide at the moment. Everybody's affected. Even most Nigerian businesses is even being affected.
We were affected this morning.
Even at 18 here, you observe that the internet is not working as it's supposed to work, because most of the internet, most of the things that we do, is being powered by Microsoft. Most of the devices we use is being powered by Microsoft. Most systems you see today is being powered by Microsoft. So it's something that is affecting almost everybody, whether you're a student, everybody.
This is looking like a time where we need to look outside, because one company is affected and the whole world is affected.
Yes, so that's more reason where if somebody is doing a particular thing, it shouldn't just be just for that person. It should be, okay, this guy is trying, also bring up something, a kind of different idea, so that in case that one is being affected, that's why there's competition in markets, in the business world, whereby you create a product, also create similar product. We compete.
But we have other companies that have similar products, Obasi.
One of the reasons why this is very important is because Microsoft has dominated the IT space for a very long period of time, and it's what makes them one of the most expensive. But the disadvantages, like we've just seen, is that when it fails, the backup plan could either be iOS or other giants, per se, that do not really have. Not a lot of persons use
iOS devices
and their products. So I think Microsoft is like the most famous. So when it happens to them, it kind of like affects every other person. So when there are updates of like security patches in the framework and it doesn't work, if somebody replaces 1.0 with 1.1 and 1.1 fails, the going back to 1.0 is going to be an issue. Building another 1.0 is going to be an issue. and every single person that uses 1.1 that has been updated
will be affected at that time
and cannot use anything. So I think, yeah, Microsoft has held.
Well, let's also look at how, because you have stated that the world now is being affected at the moment. Like currently, a lot of businesses are on standstill because of one company.
Yes, because the other companies that are involved in this, like iOS, they are quite expensive.
Oh,
yeah, they are quite expensive. You won't compare because the Microsoft, like I said, has dominated the market, and they are everywhere. They are famous. They are everywhere. You walk into like 5 organizations, how many iOS devices will you see there? But you see Microsoft everywhere. Everywhere.
Let's look at how it's affecting us now. Let's look at the effects more now. How it is going to affect us, or how it is already affecting us, and how you think it will affect business. What does this really mean for us?
First of all, starting from the people that have caused this, Microsoft's shares and the trust in the company have dropped drastically from Thursday night. I think losing as at the last time it was a lot. So when this happens, the airlines, the schools, the banks that have been affected, there's going to be a loophole. It's a cybersecurity risk. A person that really knows about hacking can get into any system from Thursday night up until now and come out with a whole lot of cash or information. And this is how most hackers get rich all of a sudden.
So it started on Thursday night.
Yeah, it got way more serious on Thursday night. It's been happening for, like you said,
for over a week.
Yes, and now it got way worse, because when it happens, a lot of persons had still not updated.
Yeah.
When you have an application, for example, you're using an app and it's working. There's been an update of that app a week ago that was not working, but you're using the previous version. And all of a sudden, the previous version goes bad and certain glitches start happening, and you have to go back to the store that you got the other one from to update. And then you update, and what you got was something that is bugged with a virus, and it starts affecting you now. So other companies that are in Nigeria, small businesses, smaller than Microsoft, that have been affected, the trust in them would get reduced.
Yeah, it's going to cause data loss.
Yes.
Yeah, because when these hackers get into your system, they tend to steal whatever information they can get hold. They will take everything, and that's why it's always advisable when there's a new security update on any device, on any software you're using. Once the system says update, go ahead and update.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This
because
is
most businesses, especially in this part of the world, especially in Nigeria here, we tend to ignore updates a lot.
We do
a lot. Our
in fact, I ignore a lot of apps.
Our phones
I feel like it's bugging me.
No. When even the social media apps we are using, they say update. The reason why they're telling you to update is because they found a breach and they have seen a way to patch it. They have seen a way to rectify those breaches. So that's why they say update. Immediately you update it. So that in case there is a threat, in case there is a breach, you won't be affected. So we tend to ignore updates a lot in this part of the world.
It's not like they're doing something new that is irrelevant. Because sometimes sometimes, I don't know if you have noticed it, David, sometimes even when we update, do you understand? We don't really see anything new. So the next time we see update, it's more like, another stress.
No, if it's going to be stressful for you, it's good that you keep your devices automatic update. So once there's an internet, your system sees an internet, or maybe you own your mobile data or anything, it updates automatically. The only thing you'll be maybe just the cost of the data you're using to do the update. So
even if we don't see anything
new, they are working.
These
guys are working behind the scenes. They are, like he said, he made an example of zeros and one, for instance. If maybe they found out that there's a dot in the code that is called that might allow these hackers get into your system, and they removed it, you are not seen behind the scene. But those guys, those people that makes this software, they are the ones on it. They are the ones working, doing these things for us. Ours is just to enjoy it, just to use it for our satisfaction, use it, enjoy, laugh, and the rest. So once they say there is an update, go ahead and update it.
Not to think outside the box now. Don't you think that this is a call for us to also step up? Because imagine we had something like this or our own system here. What is going on in another part of the world might not really get to affect us as much as it is now. Don't you think there's a lacuna for Nigerians to dive into?
Well,
in the IT space?
That space has been... We've had a lot of persons that... I had a friend in secondary school that was very good with this. He's in China now. He was poached at GSS 3. They came here, took him, signed papers, and he's there. He's living his life. And he's making actionable solutions, although he's in the robotic industry. But there are a lot of persons in Nigeria that are armed with these different skills. I'm sure that he has had a lot of ideas that he would like to action as regards to IT that are not very... We have a lot of issues that are not even
but you agree that
there are fintech startups in Nigeria that I'm not going to call names for the sake of this show. There are fintech startups in Nigeria that are very, very, very good that I have used, and I can confirm that this, if given the right amount of PR and funding by the government, this startup can be as big as Microsoft.
With the sorry to cut you, with the little phones they have now, they are really doing exploits without any back-end phone. Yeah, with their own personal phones, with their brain. First of all, with their brain, with their skills, they are really doing a lot. Not to talk more of if maybe our government can back them up, can say, okay, we are behind you, go ahead and do. We are seeing some companies, some companies that are actually doing something, okay, give them the go ahead. They don't even need your backup. They don't even need you to do it. Just give them, say, okay, go ahead. We have authorized you to start producing. You have given you the license. You will be hearing on the news that they are having problem with this, they are having problem with that. So if our government can really back these guys up, they will do exploits.
You see that happening anytime soon?
I cannot really
talked about more. Yes. What do you think is
whenever there's a new government, be it governorship or presidency, I think one of the agendas that they try to push towards is that there's going to be a lot of investment in the IT infrastructural aspect of the country. And then maybe nothing is done. Maybe they share laptops. Nobody gets to hear about it.
Because when we hear about IT or IT support, what we get to see is maybe people would start talking about things like, oh, can we have our data in a computer? Can we go past using papers in these offices?
If our IT section was settled, we would not really have a problem voting electronically.
Yeah.
That is to start with.
Yeah.
There are countries that are way ahead of us and they do this. And even at that, it's just anything that was built by man, including coding and softwares, would always need updates. Every code that was built has its loopholes.
Yeah.
And when these loopholes fall for 30 seconds, if there is a predator, a hacker that really wants to get into the systems, in that 30 seconds he can change 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, and a lot of things could go wrong. So yeah, when these different things are built, we should not really look at it as this is the first time it's happening, oh, there's going to be a whole lot of panic. No, there should not be panic because it has happened before and it will keep happening. This is a computer software and it was built.
Okay, there should not be any panic at all.
There really shouldn't be any panic.
Let me walk you through how softwares have been developed. Now, before any software comes on board, before any computer comes on board, it goes, I'm not sure, but it goes through a series of phases. It goes through a series of phases. It's called the system development life cycle. First of all, those people making a system tends to analyze the problem, knows what the market, before we start making something like this, do people really need it? Do we just wake up one morning and start creating these systems or start making these softwares? No. They first of all analyze the problem. After they finish analyzing it, they start planning. They won't do anything, they just plan. Okay, how should we do this? Then after they finish the planning, they now start the design. Okay, this system should look like a fish. This system should look like this. This system should do this. Okay. That's where the architecture of the system.
Have an idea. Yeah. A system that should look like a fish.
So they start doing that. After that, they now start the the coding and the implementation of what they have analyzed, what they have gathered from the analysis phase.
Well, as an IT personnel, what do you need from the government?
From the government, we need their backing, we need their funding.
All right. Yeah. What do you need from the government? What do you think the IT space needs from the government?
I think it's a whole thing that needs to be looked at. I think it's a whole thing that needs to be looked at. It should be as important as every other sector, because it can bring revenue and it can stabilize the government in general.
All right, thank you so much.